You know, there's nothing like being behind the scenes and being in the green room. I love the green room because this is where the magic happens. This is where I get to hear the backstory. So do me a favor, Darren. I know we're going to have an outstanding show, but take a moment, tell me a little bit about who is Darren, if I can say it like that, and what is Darren up to now?
Woo, I'm really excited to be here. And first of all, I just want to acknowledge the listeners, the viewership here at Happy Entrepreneur Show. And listen, I want to first of all say thank you for investing in you, for being here. An investment in yourself is the greatest investment, right? And so I'm really excited that you're here. And I want to acknowledge Jay Brown, and I want to acknowledge the Happy Entrepreneur Show for having me here as well. Because listen, if you're an entrepreneur, if you are in business, you got to invest in yourself. You got to invest in the resources and the tools. And this show is here to support you on the journey towards your success.
Thank you.
The journey of life and your business is all about making sure that you have the right tools, the right resources, and this is why this show exists. So I'm happy and excited to just be here to be part of this journey with you guys. And, listen, this episode is going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm really excited to be here and honored because I get an opportunity to share with you the smart way, right? The smart way of being able to leverage Facebook ads to grow and scale your business. I know many of you out there have probably been using Facebook ads. You've been spending money and investing time to make it work. And maybe you're struggling, maybe you're frustrated. But tonight, I'm going to share with you a simple process. And we're going to have a real fun discussion around Facebook ads so you can finally crack the code and being able to make it work so that you can grow your business, so that you can attract the kind of customers that you want, so that you can live the lifestyle that you truly deserve. And I'm just so excited to be here with Shay Brown to share with you some wisdom and some nuggets that I've learned over the years that has helped many of the clients that I've worked with get real results with Facebook ads.
Well, I really admire what you're doing, man. I love the difference you're making. I love the conversation we're going to have. We believe here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show that the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. And I know you're talking about results in getting in their bank account, but you always relate it back to life, which I love. I know before we go live, man, before we really kick the show off, I'm just curious. I don't really want to know your big why, although I'm sure you have one. I'm more curious about what's your mission in life? What purpose are you on?
I love that. One of my favorite quotes is the journey of life is to rediscover yourself as a space where anything is possible. And one of the possibilities that I've set for my life is to be a space of transformation for entrepreneurs on the journey to be able to share their message with the world. And, I'm always on the path of helping people to unleash their inner champion. Because, listen, here's what I know. I know that if you're an entrepreneur and if you're going to have growth, if you're going to be able to have success in your business and your life, you got to invest in yourself. And I'm about investing in people and helping them to have the right tools and have the right resources, have the right knowledge, and more so the right mindset so that they can unleash their inner champion, so that they can step out there and be more available to share things with their audience so they can make a difference in the lives of the people that they serve. So I just love to be a vessel, a vehicle, an opportunity to transform people through that process. And that's the mission of the man, Jay.
Man, I'm super excited. I'm fired up. Haki, I see you in the house. You're going to be glad you're here today. Asbury Johnson, thanks for joining. Jay Hunter Lee, this is the right place at the right time for all of you who are watching right now. My promise to you is you're going to learn the smart way. I don't know what smart means. I got to ask him that when we come back. The smart way to actually run your Facebook ads. And he's going to break that thing down for you. I'm getting the cue, man. I wish I can talk to you a little more in the green room, but we got to get going. What's up, Lawrence Hood? You're going to learn how to do the Facebook ads at last. I can't wait. This is the conversation I've been waiting for. I'm getting the cue. I get it. We got to go in 5. I see it. 4. What's up, Carol? 3. What's up, Joy? 2. 1. Let's kick off. It's showtime, everybody. Facebook ads. It's about time. promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win. If you going in, put your hands.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is to provide you the entrepreneur, Haiki, you the entrepreneur, Salima, you the entrepreneur, Latoya, you the entrepreneur, Tasha, and so many of you with the resources to execute 3 visions that I believe you have. I believe you have a vision for yourself, how you want to live, the food you want to eat, the clothes you want to wear. And it takes resources, which means it takes revenue. We're going to help you with that. Some of you have a vision for your loved ones, you know, the ones you care the most about. Some of you have children. I'm a dad, and you want to send your kids to a school of their choice. Some of you want to pay the healthcare insurance for someone that you love about. Some of you want to write a check for the causes you believe in. And in your business, it takes what? Resources, which means it takes revenue. And then some of you have a vision, number 3, for the people you were called to serve. And you have the experience, you have the expertise, you have the training, and you've been given all the gifts. I happen to be a believer, so I believe in God. You've been given the talents right now to be successful. And the only thing holding you back from executing that big vision are resources. Well, this morning, this evening, this afternoon, wherever you are, Darien Hill showed up for one reason and one reason only. And that is to help you get the resources you need by using Facebook as a way to amplify really your authority and really to stop struggling to attract those clients and start selling like crazy. Someone say ching ching. If you're ready to put a little money in your pocket, say ching ching. Look right below the video and say ching ching, because that's what this conversation is about, and that's the promise. Darien, I wish I could go on. I'm not going to read your bio. You introduce yourself in the green room, but I'm curious. Everyone's heard about Facebook ads. We all know about Facebook ads. Why, as entrepreneurs, do we struggle really implementing Facebook ads?
You know, it's a great question, Jay. And in my working with so many entrepreneurs, the #1 reason why they struggle is also the reason why we struggle with so many other things in our life, is that we take action on something without having a clear strategy in place. Let me say that again. We oftentimes take action on something without having a clear strategy. And we oftentimes don't have the right mindset and manage expectations to really have success with the things that we're trying to pursue in life. And so when I look at a lot of the clients that we work with, when I look at prospects who come and want to learn how to be effective with Facebook ads, you know, the big challenge is they haven't done the necessary work to, #1, identify a clear goal and a vision, like you said, for their Facebook ads, and then have a process that takes people from being a stranger ultimately to being an actual client or a customer. And so having a right strategy and having a right mindset for the platform is so key for you to have success. And when I talk about mindset, it's really understanding the nuance of the platform. It's understanding the nuance of social media. It's understanding that social media is a relationship platform. So you have to bring that mindset to the table. We're not talking about Google. We're not talking about the search engines where consumers are going there for what we call buyer intent. We're in a platform where people, they're looking for social currency. They're looking to connect. They're looking to network with their friends and their families and their colleagues. So there's a certain way, there's a certain process in the way that you need to engage with your audience to be able to get the desired result. I think it was Wallace Wattles who wrote a great book called The Science of Getting Rich, who says that the rich don't get rich by doing certain things. They get rich by doing certain things in a certain way. So there is a certain way, the smart way, which we're going to talk about tonight, what you can implement And if you're not implementing the smart way, this is why so many people are struggling with Facebook ads today.
That's a great segue, and I'm waiting to hear that, the whole smart Facebook ads method, which you're going to share in a moment. What do you say to the person that says, okay, are we just boosting another ad? Like, I know how to put money on the Facebook, and I know how to put my credit card down. We're not talking about just boosting ads. We're going to get into running a pure Facebook ad. But for those people that don't know, tell us the difference. What's up, Kimberly Flowers? She's a rock star out there in San Antonio. And
Kimberly.
Coach Claire, thanks for joining. Savella, you're at the right place. Take a minute or two, because I want to get to the smart Facebook ads method right away. But take a moment to distinguish the difference between someone that spends $20 to boost versus someone that runs an ad. I know that's a loaded question, but can you break that thing down for us, please?
No, I think it's a great question because it allows me to segue right into the SMART method. And so, of course, when you have a post on your Facebook page, you see that little blue button at the bottom right that says boost.
I'm guilty.
So you're guilty of it, right?
It seems so easy. You just hit the button and put your credit card in.
It is easy. It's like that easy button. Remember,
Yes.
Staples used to have that easy button?
Yes. But I don't get the results I'm looking for when that happens, by the way.
Exactly. That's why Facebook makes it so easy. They want you to hit that button and spend some money. The problem is, well, there are two things. Number one, it works if you're just trying to amplify your content to your fans, right? But it's not as effective if you're strategically trying to, put your message in front of the right people, okay, and move them through a particular process. So boosting is just, again, the strategy that I would use, or the tactic that I would suggest, is that you're only using boost just to kind of get your message in front of more of the fans, the people who like your page. But generally, it is not for the effectiveness of a Facebook strategy. It's not something you want to use to be able to generate results. It's not something you're going to use to, let's say, drive traffic to your website or increase your conversions on your landing page. It's primarily just to be able to get your content in front of more people. Because as you know, Che, we know that when you look at your Facebook page today, if you post something, if you have 1,000 people on your fan page, guess what? You're only reaching about 2 to maybe 10%. If you're lucky, based upon Facebook's algorithm, if you're lucky, you're covering that much people, right?
Right.
So the boost serves to be able to just amplify you, put a little fire behind your content.
But it says you can boost it to your friends and their friends' friends. So I figured I'm reaching more people.
Yeah, you're reaching more people, yes. But the reality is that you need to have a more comprehensive strategy behind your boosting. Okay? You don't want to just only boost content. You want to be able to have a specific objective. If you want to, let's say, drive your traffic to your website, if you want to increase conversions, there are different objectives that you have to select to be able to accomplish that specific goal. Boosting primarily is going to allow you to do something called page post engagement, which is, again, allowing your ad to only go in front of people who are most likely to engage with your content, not necessarily click to go to your website. So there are minimal controls that you have when you're just boosting. It's really just for the purpose of getting your content in front of more people, but it's not for the purpose of having a real strategy of connecting with a stranger, or using the SMART method, connecting with a stranger and engaging with them, and then ultimately converting them into a sale. It's really just to be able to amplify your content in front of people who have already connected with you on your page, right? And I know there are other things that they're starting to do now where you can, reach your friends of your fans and things like that, but it's still not the best method to use to be effective with an overall comprehensive strategy.
Now, I know you're going to break this whole smart Facebook ads method down in just a second. But you've been in this digital space for a while now. Give us the 1 minute backstory of your time spending. You've been doing Facebook ads, I know, for at least 5 years. So you've seen the evolution of Facebook. You've seen it grow. Why did you decide to narrow the conversation tonight on this episode on Facebook ads versus LinkedIn versus, I don't know, Instagram? Because every time I turn around, they want me to put money somewhere else. And so I feel like my head's on a swivel, and I might be the only one out there, but I feel that way many times. So my question to you is, why Facebook? Why hang your hat there?
My grandfather, who was a fisherman, he always told me something. He said, listen, if you want to catch like a snapper, I'm a big red snapper person. right? And so he said, if you want to catch the red snappers, you got to fish in a certain type of pond, right? Right?
Yeah.
Or you got to fish in a certain part of the sea to catch the red snapper. And so, number one is, listen, there are over 2.4 billion people on Facebook. The Facebook is a huge community and an opportunity for you to reach and connect with your target audience. There's no denying that. Okay. But more so, Facebook has done a phenomenal job with collecting a lot of data about the users on their platform. And so when it comes to advertising, it offers one of the best and the most cost-effective ways to be able to reach out to your target audience, connect with them in a very heartful way, and take them through a process where you can take them from a stranger to ultimately a sale. So when you look at all the different platforms, I've run ads on LinkedIn, and the cost per conversion is a little bit expensive. When you look at Facebook and Instagram, the cost per conversion, the opportunity to be able to put the right type of, and I'm getting ahead of myself, put the right type of message in front of the right type of audience is so key, and it's so great of an opportunity. It's why we need to focus on Facebook as an opportunity to grow and scale our business.
I love it. We'll get into the smart Facebook ads method in about another minute, but I'm just curious, this conversation we're about to have, do I need $1,500 a month to spend on Facebook? Do I need, no, I'm not, you're laughing. Why are you laughing? I just had a conversation and someone's, proposing, well, you need to spend at least $1,000. You got to spend $500. And I'm like, okay, let me do this right. That's $12,000 a year. Not a lot. I'm not saying it's a lot of money. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. But my question, we have this conversation. If I'm someone that doesn't have $1,000 to put up or $500 to put up, are there ways in this strategy that I can learn, that I can still extend my message, and I can amplify my authority?
Absolutely. And so, it's a great question. If your budget is $1,000, there's certainly ways you can utilize that $1,000 to be able to amplify and still be able to generate results for your business. However, what I like to ask is not so much about how much you have to spend, but how much are you willing to invest? Because here's a reality. Shay, if I said to you, I can guarantee that if you put $1 in and you can get 1,000 out, right? Then listen, if you
I'm
have
all in. I'm putting as many dollars as I got into that bucket.
you're gonna put as many. Listen, if you have to borrow money, you're gonna borrow it, right?
I'm getting my first 1,000 back, and I'm good.
Exactly. So it really, I just want to say this: that yes, to answer your question, yes, there is opportunities and ways that you can certainly amplify your authority utilizing Facebook ads with smaller budgets. But larger budgets that allow you to reach more people. Here's how I look at Facebook ads. And I think so many times when we look at Facebook ad, we complicate it, right? We think that, oh my gosh, it's so strange and so different, and it's complicated. But the simple terminology for me is this. Facebook ads is just an amplification of your existing content, right? So all you're doing is you're putting flames, you're putting fire behind your content so you can reach more people. Right? That's to simplify the overall concept. That's what Facebook ads is. Now, there are strategies that we'll talk about, like the smart strategy that you can put in place to be effective with moving people from a stranger to a customer or a client. However, it's just really understanding that we're doing nothing more than amplifying, sharing more, serving more people, touching more lives with our content through Facebook advertising. That's really what
I love it. I love it. Look, do me a favor. For those folks that are watching, all the entrepreneurs out there right now, hit the share button and say it's time to learn Facebook ads for real. Hashtag Darien Hill. Hit the watch party button, because when we come back in less than 2 minutes, hit the watch party button and say learn Facebook ads for real, because Darien Hill is the real deal. Yeah, I grew up in the 80s, okay? Holla at your boy, okay? And so he is the real deal, and he's going to be talking about that as soon as we come back. Kim Griffin, it's going to happen. Asbury Johnson, it's going to happen. Today is your day. This is your moment. Yes, we'll be back in less than 2 minutes. We're going to go all the way over to my good friend Sean Harper up in Ohio. Sean Harper's an ex-football player. 6 years in the lead, runs a successful business. And he talked about the law of capacity. And that's so in tune for what we'll be needing and talk about in this conversation. We'll be back in just a moment. Sean, take it away, because we come back, Darien Hill's going to talk about the smart Facebook ads method. Get your pen and paper ready. You don't want to miss it.
Hi, my name is Sean Harper, motivational speaker, author, investor. I love investing in people because people has the potential of generating years of dividends. This is my January 1st. And as I'm moving in January 1st, I have to be mindful of the laws, the law of capacity. Now, if you know me, I break all the rules, but I never break laws. If you break laws, laws will break you. Laws are unchangeable. So the law of capacity is that you will grow in proportion to your environment. It reminds me of a story of a guy named Walt Disney. We all know Walt Disney, but Walt Disney started out after a couple failed ventures. He started out with Disneyland, south of Anaheim, California. And he had great success, but he had one challenge. He was landlocked. And so he couldn't expand. And so he secretly, anonymously, began to buy up land in the Orlando area. And he formed shell companies, and he brought 500 acres here, 100 acres here with this company, and maybe 2,000 acres with this company. And he went on, and a investigative journalist caught on to it, but not until he amassed over 26 to 30,000 acres. And now that man, who is now deceased, still has land that's not been developed. His dream was huge, but his capacity was small. One of the problems or challenges that we face as entrepreneurs, as business owners, business leaders, is that we run out of capacity. When there's stress in the business, when there's stress as an entrepreneur, it's usually one or two problems. A, you don't have the systems, or B, you have a lack of capacity. That is a spiritual law. And I often compare spiritual laws, or look for evidence of spiritual laws in nature. You take a shark, put it in the fish tank, it gets this big. Take that same baby shark, put it in the ocean, it gets this big. Before you dream, or right after you dream, the first thing you do is you begin to build your capacity. Before you build up, you gotta build down. Thank you. Play to win. Bye-bye.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. We're on a mission to empower, to inspire, and to provide you with all of the resources, all of the tools that you need to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And we're speaking to Darien Hill. Darien Hill is going to talk about right now smart Facebook ads method. And I know your first question, at least my first question, is what in the LL Cool J is smart Facebook ads method? Okay, I assume this is his signature piece. So Darien, we want to know, man. Let's break this thing down. To Stephanie Perkins, who's down in the house, we appreciate you. To Roma, hey Roma Russell, thanks for joining. She said it's time to learn Facebook ads. Rosetta, it's always a pleasure. Mario, my man, you're at the right place at the right time. Take it away, Darien Hill. Talk about it. Now, they can't hear you, so you must have your microphone on mute.
All right.
There you go. We can hear you loud and clear now.
Fantastic. So the SMART method, let's talk about what it is. I know that you're here tonight to learn about this SMART method. And so if you're going to grow and scale your business, you got to do it smart. And so SMART is an acronym. And here's what it stands for. It stands for strategic messaging at the right time. Let me say that again. It stands for strategic messaging at the right time. See, here's what I know. I know that, listen, your customer is on a journey. They're on a journey. And there's something called the buyer's journey, and every customer is on. And so there are three different stages that you have an opportunity to engage with your audience. And by having the right strategic messaging, you'll be effective with being able to connect and build a relationship with your audience so that you can move them along this journey. So the three stages, let me describe this and why it's so important that you understand this messaging part is so key. Like I said, it's strategic messaging at the right time. Is that your customers are on this journey and they go from a stage of what we call awareness. They go to the next stage called engagement. And then, of course, they have the last stage called decision or conversion. And so they're going through these three different stages. And if you're going to be effective with Facebook advertising, we talked about boosting a post. Boosting a post doesn't give you the opportunity to be able to do effective messaging at each one of those levels or each one of those stages so you can move people along the journey. It's like a relationship, right? You first, when you meet with that loved one or you see that loved one, you connect with them first and you build that connection with them. And then you go into that engagement stage, and then last you make that offer, right?
Yes, that's one way of looking. I love it.
Right? You make that offer, and so it's like any relationship. It's like the dating process. You don't initially ask the person to get married on that first date. No. You become aware of who that person is. You connect with them first. Yeah. Then you make an engagement, and then last you make the offer and you get married. And so with messaging is the same way. And I believe that in 2020 and beyond, being more effective with your messaging at those stages is going to really differentiate those who win and those who lose with Facebook ads. And so when we talk about messaging, let's kind of break it down a little bit further. We talk about the awareness phase. And so in the awareness phase, these are people who don't know who you are. They don't have a relationship with you. They may not know that they have a problem. They may not know that there's a solution to a problem that they already have. And so your goal in that initial awareness phase is to be able to have the right type of message that addresses a problem that they're facing, brings awareness to a solution to a problem that they may have, or be able to just build a connection through storytelling so that they see you as someone that has gone on a similar path. So, for instance, a lot of the coaches that I work with, a lot of them are in the industry that they're in because they themselves have gone through a personal transformation that brought them to do what they're doing today. And so by sharing their story in that awareness phase, what happens is people read that story and they get to see themselves through the journey of the transformation that a particular coach goes through. In their psyche, in their psychology, they say, wow, this person is just like me. We have a connection. We have an affinity, and all of a sudden there's a bonding that goes on. So having the right type of messaging starts the relationship equity with that person. So you're either addressing a problem, you're bringing awareness to a solution, or you're sharing a story in that awareness phase to connect. Remember, that first part of the awareness phase is about connection. How can you bridge that connection with that particular person? So that's step one in the awareness. In the engagement now is that you want to continue to address their concerns. You want to continue to be answering questions that they may have. So your content and your messaging needs to be about making sure that they are clear that, listen, this particular person really has a deep understanding of the challenges and the desires that I have. And so you want to make sure that your messaging is all about answering questions. You want to make sure your messaging is sharing that you have a deeper understanding of what they're dealing with. And then, of course, the last stage in this overall process is the offer or the conversion. And this is where now they're looking for that validation, right? They're looking to say, okay, I connect with this particular person. They seem to really understand what I'm going through, but can they demonstrate to me that they've already worked with other people? Can they demonstrate that they truly have an expertise and they can really provide the results that I'm looking for? And so in this stage, you're looking to provide messaging around social proof, right? Testimonials. You're looking to provide case studies. You're looking to provide things that validate in their mind, get that check in their mind that says, listen, this particular person is an authority. This particular person is an expert. This particular person has answered the question I have in my mind, which is, can this person really solve my problem? Can I trust this person to solve the problem? And so when we look at doing things smart, it's a process, not just an event. Oftentimes people are trying to just throw ads out there or boost a post and hoping that something sticks. But if you don't have a systematic process, a smart process, a messaging process that builds a relationship and connects with someone in the awareness phase, continues to engage in answering their questions and demonstrating that you're an expert, and then validating that question that's in their mind that says, can this person truly solve my problem? Then you're not really doing Facebook ads the right way, and you're not doing it smart, hence the reason why you're not getting results. And this is what we've been implementing with a lot of our clients that's been seeing great results in their business, more high quality leads, and more sales, more people enrolling in their programs, and you can definitely do the same thing as well.
So give us the acronym of SMART one more time. And I want to say hello. You brought out Justin Burns, one of the all-stars out there with the Maestro. You got Deborah Gardner, another super incredible human being out there in Phoenix who speaks all over the planet. Tina, thanks for joining. Rixie, it's always a pleasure. Thanks a lot, Danny, for being in the house. Break down, if you can, break down SMART one more time. And
Sure.
yeah, just break that down. So if you didn't write it down, someone write this right below the video, because then I'm going to ask him about the analytics, right? And so he's just giving you the philosophy part right now. But one of the things that I admire most about Darren and the results, let me say that again, the results, let me say that a little louder, the results that he's getting for the clients that I know that he's working with. I talked to one of them true story, just right before this broadcast, is because of the SMART method and the analytics. And I'm going to tell them to help us break the analytics down, because many of you can put your credit card down, but you don't understand analytics. Talk about SMART. What is the definition of SMART one more time?
Glad you asked.
Mm-hmm.
So SMART stands for strategic messaging at the right time. Now, let me say it again, strategic messaging at the right time. Now, why the right time? Because you want to have the right message in front of the right person at the right time. Again, one of our philosophies at SMART is that you want to serve to sell, right? If you start selling to someone you just meet, if you go to a networking event and you sort of pitch that particular person when you first meet them, give them a call and say, hey, call me if you need my service, person's probably not going to do business with you, right? So you got to know the right time to be able to have the right message to be able to engage with your audience. So having the right message, a strategic message, strategic meaning in the awareness phase, you know exactly what type of message that you need to position in front of your audience so that you are building a connection, you're engaging with them, okay? Then you have the engagement phase. You have to know what type of messaging that they're looking for, what's in their mind, what belief system do they have, what questions are they asking, what concerns do they have. You want to be addressing these concerns. This is all the process of knowing your audience. It's very important to do that in the early research. But knowing your audience allows you to be able to be effective with addressing these questions in the engagement stage. And the last, of course, the conversion is knowing that, listen, your customer ultimately will do business with people that they know, like, and trust. The trust element comes from being able to demonstrate that you can provide results. And you do that through your messaging, through case studies, through testimonials, by demonstrating that you help other people just like them succeed and answer the questions that they have at that point in time. And that's what strategic messaging is all about.
So I'm not hearing you need some smart, slick-looking Facebook ad. I'm not hearing you need some cheesy person smiling on a picture. I'm hearing there's a whole strategy. Why do entrepreneurs struggle with the analytical side of ads? Like most folks watching right now, and all the speakers or the authors or the trainers or even the coaches or small business owners who run enterprises, they figured out how to watch a 5-minute YouTube, movie, for lack of a better term. They figured out how to go in there and set up their Facebook ad manager. They figured out how to put a credit card in. They've even tested the water and spent $100, $500, $1,000, but they've spent no time on the analytics of running the ad. And I'm totally guilty of doing that. We haven't run one ad for even this show, right? And so all because of all of you, we get all these views, but we can do so much better partner with Darren, which we're going to do. But my point that I want to mention, Darren, talk about the analytical side of understanding how ads are performing so that you can make real-time decision on multiple ads that are running to the same audience at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And listen, we know that oftentimes the things that are not there, if I would use the word sexy, the analytics is not the fun part.
No, they don't want. Yeah, I agree.
No, nobody wants to talk about numbers, but Shay, you brought up a very important point, and it's why oftentimes we are not seeing the success with Facebook ads is because, number one, you have to, first of all, before you want to add, have a specific goal. You have to know what your KPIs are. And KPI means the key performance indicators. You have to know specifically, listen, what am I willing to pay for conversion? Conversion meaning someone opting into your website. Conversion meaning someone actually getting on a phone call with you or opting into your webinar. You have to know these numbers up front. So to even talk about analytics, you have to, first of all, before you want to add, figure out what are the numbers that you need to be hitting? What are those KPIs you need to be meeting? And you need to backtrack that from your specific goals. So if you're trying to generate X number of dollars in sales, you need to figure out, okay, how many people do I need to get into my webinar at a certain conversion rate to be able to meet this particular number? You need to know how many leads need to opt into your your webinar or your lead magnet at a certain conversion rate to get to the certain number of people who need to attend your webinar. So you definitely need to have these numbers ahead of time laid out before you even run an ad, so that when you look at your analytics, you can say, okay, based upon these specific KPIs that we've set up, whether we have to have 1,000 people come through our webinar, or we have to have 1,000 people opt into our at a certain conversion rate, 30% conversion rate at our landing page, or we need to have 5% of the people who we actually watch a webinar convert onto a call. By knowing these numbers, then you can look at your analytics in Facebook and say, wow, we're meeting our specific goals, or we can say we're way off, right? And that's one of the things you want to do ahead of time, is to make sure that you know what those specific numbers are before you run ads. You just don't want to start running ads. Mm-hmm. You got to figure out ahead of time, what are your KPIs? What are the goals that you have to hit before you start running the ads? And that oftentimes, Shay, when we are talking to clients, they haven't done that work to be able to determine whether or not their ads are going to be successful. They haven't done the goal planning, the number planning to make sure that they can have success. And that's why most times, from an analytics standpoint, it is not the fun thing to talk about.
Sure. And can we get personal for a moment? For those folks that are watching right now, that are tuned in, whether you're listening to the podcast right now, we appreciate you. If you're listening on Apple TV or Roku or Amazon Fire or one of our syndicated platforms, we appreciate you. Or if you're just on Facebook right now and you're tuned into the community, thank you so much. Do me a favor, hit the share button. Hit the watch party button. Go ahead and write these words: learn Facebook ads for real, and put at Darien Hill. Let's all do that right now, because I'm going to ask Darren that at least in the speaker industry and the expert industry, one of the shifts that we've seen is that a number of folks were meeting people online, and that was the best place to meet them, but now they're taking them offline. And I know you work with a number of different speakers or authors or coaches or trainers or experts, and even working with one of my good frat brothers, a good friend, Andy Henriquez, and he'd be okay if he's saying that right now, who's doing a storytelling event right there in your hometown, by the way. And he's done really, really well running Facebook ads to have local small events. So he's niched it to a city or county that he wants to go in. Talk about that drill down of how folks that are watching that might really want to focus on a specific niche town or area. So give us the strategy. Don't give us, all Andy's numbers. We don't want that, but give us the strategy and then kind of walk us through the process. Now, I know you weren't going to do that and you get paid to do that, but if you would share that with the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe, I'd be really, really appreciative. And for those folks that are watching right now, do me a favor. Here's how we can give the one and only Darren a digital applause. He didn't ask for this, but we want to give him a digital applause. The way we give him a digital applause, I want you to look right below the video right now and just write, "Thank you, Darren." Or just put, "We appreciate you, Darren." Just say, "Darren, you're doing a good job." Beforehand, he wanted to make sure his glasses were straight, wanted to make sure you guys could see the lighting was right. He was ready for production, okay? And so let him know that we appreciate him. So do me a favor, look right below the video, write "Thank you," right? "We appreciate you." He's here giving the best that he has right now, exactly what he shares with his clients. So break down the strategy of niching, using Facebook ads to reach a very specific niche, and then more importantly, bringing people to a on-site location so they can be part of a true community. And I've seen you do it for Andy. I know you've done it for so many other folks that I've heard about, and I don't want to mention their names, but I was talking to Andy Henriquez, and he was cool with me right before here because he was excited. He's in the car driving to an event, and people are there because of the Facebook ads that you have run for him on his behalf, as you've done for the last couple of years. He wanted me to make sure that I shared that with this audience because you are the real deal, Darren.
Thank you. So as you mentioned, Shay, I've been working with a number of speakers, authors, and coaches to help them with being able to put butts in seats at a free event. And so, as we know, if you're going to have success with Facebook ads, it's not just running the ad, it's also driving them to some sort of conversion event. So a conversion event could be a webinar. A conversion event could be a live event. A conversion event could be an evergreen webinar, or maybe just a free video series, or maybe even a lead magnet. So in this case, we focus on driving traffic to a landing page that offered people the opportunity to come to a free seminar. So the process is, number one, you want to make sure that we are identifying the right target audience, and with specific in Facebook is niching it down to a specific area. So one of the things that we do with a lot of our clients is we always make sure that when we set up the ads, we're saying that we only want to target people within a specific radius of the place that we are hosting the event, right? That's a tip for you. And we only want to target people that live within a specific radius of that event. Okay, so there are different types of settings that you can have, and one of the mistakes people make is they'll select the one that says people traveling in or people that were recently in this area. You don't want to do that because especially in Orlando, someone may have came to Orlando for vacation and they left, and then they see your ad, but they're back in Vancouver, right? And so you right. So you want to make sure that you get the right settings for your ads, and then you want to target a specific radius. We normally do around 30 to 50 mile radius of that particular location that we're hosting the event. And so once you do that, then you can specifically use the detailed targeting. I mean, of course, we're going into very technical things, though.
No, go ahead. That's fine.
You go into detailed targeting, and you want to then add those specific target groups. And just to kind of give you some tips on how you want to target, you want to think about, individuals that you want to reach, and you want to think about what specific associations. You want to think of who's the competition that they're following, what brands are they following, what authority figures are they following. And those become the target groups that you can use in your ad setup, okay? And so as you're setting up your ad, number one, you pick the location. You're going to pick 30 to 50 miles radius of that particular location that you're hosting the event. You want to make sure you put in some detailed targeting. The other thing that you can do as well is use a lookalike audience. So we leverage a lot of lookalike audiences of your current buyers with just the location itself, plus 30 miles. That's also effective. But the key is, again, like I said before, it comes down to the messaging. You really want to spend some time really understanding two key things in the messaging here. This is what really converts for us, is we want to know what is the pain point that your clients is dealing with, but also what they desire. What is it the result or the outcome they want? And here's the key. This is a big differentiator for smart messaging. See, here's the thing. Every one of us has a belief, right? Mm-hmm. We think that we're the exception. So a lot of people, for instance, in Andy's case, a lot of people think, well, maybe that works for him because he's a speaker and, he's eloquent and he was born on the right side of the tracks. But, but I'm different, and my story doesn't matter. I didn't lose a leg. I didn't have a major accident. Right? We have these stories, no pun intended. We have these stories that we tell ourselves that will stop us from moving forward. So you want to get and understand what are some of those beliefs people have that will stop them from moving forward. What would they say that they think they're so unique that will stop them from moving forward? So for instance, in Andy's case, we say things such as, if you want to be able to attract quality leads and generate connect more with your audience, But even if you think that you're not a speaker, even if you don't think you're a great storyteller, even if you lack the confidence, right? So what we're essentially doing is we're not just going after their problems and desires, we're even tapping into their false beliefs, which is they may not think, well, I'm not a speaker, so that doesn't apply to me. Oh, I don't have a story, or I don't have nothing major happening in my life, so I don't have a story. So in the messaging, you want to make sure you're doing that, which is tap into the false beliefs that people may have, and you want to address those. Because here's the thing, if a person believes that they don't have a story, or they believe, in your case, whatever your business is, if they don't believe that they are capable or they don't have the right stuff, it doesn't matter how great your offer is, their belief will override every action that they take. This is psychology. Yeah. Or belief precedes all action. And so if you don't address their beliefs in your messaging, guess what? They're not moving forward. And so this is one of the ways that we are more effective with our messaging, because number one, we're not just doing the traditional, addressing the problem and then also talking about the desire, but we're really, really addressing the stopping points. We're addressing those stopping points so they say, oh, wow, okay, so I don't have to be a professional speaker. I don't have to have like a major life event happen to me to have a great story. Okay, I'll sign up. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Now, someone asked a question that cut you off. A couple people saying thank you, by the way. Stephanie Bidden says thank you so much. Kimberly Flowers. Hey, Kimberly, I know she was still watching. She says, awesome, Darren. Great job. She's following you, by the way. Selena says thank you. Mary put thank you very much. Rixie put thank you so much. Someone asked the question, what is a look-alike audience? You said it kind of fast, and I want you to pause for a moment because when we come back in less than 2 minutes, he's going to talk about what is a look-alike audience. And that's a great question. If you have a question and he says something like, oh my gosh, that went over my head, that's fine. He can take a minute or two when we come back and address that. But I want him to address the elephant in the room when he comes back. And what is the elephant in the room? The elephant in the room is, do I run ads that are images or do I run videos? And what is the difference? I know it's a question you have. He's an expert. This is what he does. He does it every day, all day. And it's an elephant in the room. And I want you as you're watching right now. No, you, the person that watches Facebook every freaking day, for you, what do you rather see? A Facebook ad with an image and a message or a video? I don't know what the answer is. He said we can ask any question we want, but when he comes back, I hope he has an answer to that question because that's the elephant in the room right now because they may have the belief that I don't do videos. And that's okay. But let's find out when he comes back. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Do me a favor. Look right below the video and put thank you. Do me a favor. Put your number one takeaway so far. This is the real deal from Darien Hill. Don't you love that? The real deal from Darien Hill on Facebook ads. And he's teaching his legendary, his signature piece, Smart Facebook Ads Method. We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to go down to Raleigh, North Carolina. Another student, I'm highlighting some of Andy Arica's students. I love them, is Dr. Kenneth Thigpen. And Dr. Kenneth Thigpen talks about direction determines destination. Now, isn't that so in harmony with what you've been hearing so far? Direction determines destination. Excuse me, destination. Hit the share button, hit the watch party button, and put learn Facebook ads for real. Hashtag Darien Hill. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. Take it away, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen.
Hello, it's your girl, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen, also known as Dr. K, founder of Rise Women's Network. And Rise Women's Network is pleased to present to you hashtag Next Sister Up. I'm with you in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, and today is my January 1st. Here's your thought of the week. Direction determines destination. And when I think about direction determining destination, I think about being a Girl Scout when I was a young kid. And we would have these sashes and we would have the opportunity to earn badges. And one of the badges that I had a chance to earn was the Wilderness Badge, where our troop leaders took us to the wilderness to go camping. They gave us a destination in which we had to get to, and they gave us a compass to help direct us to that destination. Now, from that, there's two big lessons that I learned. The first one is it's important to have the right resources. And so while we were camping, we had a compass. Now, I'm sure most of us are not using compasses, but we are using maybe a GPS. And there's other resources that we need in business and in life. And so it's important that we first evaluate if we have the right tools and resources. The second thing is that one of the resources we had were our troop leaders. And so those troop leaders, they knew where we were going. They had the knowledge, the skills, and the expertise. Same thing in business and life. It's important that we surround ourselves by individuals who have the knowledge, the skills, and expertise. Maybe it's a coach or a mentor that can help provide direction by offering a blueprint. And the second big thing I learned was it's okay to change direction. And so although the destination remains the same, it's okay if we change how we get there. And so remember, direction is a vision offered to explain why, where directions are instructions given to explain how. I'm your girl, Dr. K. Make it a great day.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. That is to empower, that is to inspire, and that's to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources and the tools that are necessary to execute that big vision that you have, so big, so huge, for the people you were called to serve. And in order to execute and have the resources, it takes revenue. takes money to buy the Facebook ads. It takes revenue to purchase marketing. It takes revenue to build your website. It takes revenue to hire your team. And so one of the ways for you to grow your revenue is to get in front of the right folks, is to amplify your authority and to really stop struggling to attract paying clients. Can I say that again? Paying clients. And so we're here with Darien Hill. He's a Facebook ads expert. Someone who's been in the digital marketing space since its inception, has been focused just on Facebook ads for about the last 5 years. That seems like a long time, but that's as long as it's been around. I'm just joking. But he's making it happen over there. He really is. So I asked the question before the break. I said, Darien, 2 questions. Number 1, talk about what is a look-alike audience, because your phrase was, and someone sent it to me, you're so nice. Thank you for all the text messages and all the note takers who are writing notes right below, the digital note takers. We love you. We appreciate you. Every comment matters. So thank you so much for sharing your comments. Thanks for sharing your notes. Thanks for hitting the like button. If you haven't hit the heart button, do that. If you're getting value, drop a note right below the video and just say we're getting value. If you listen to the podcast, right below the podcast, just put I'm getting value from Darien Hill. Even if you listen to Roku or Amazon Fire or Apple TV, we appreciate every single one of you. You matter. And so I asked the question, I said, well, what is a look-alike audience? He's going to explain that. That's question number 1. And then question number 2 behind that was to address the big elephant in the room, which is, do I do images for Facebook ads? Or, Kim Cheek, I know you want to know that answer. Or do I do videos? And what's the difference? Talk to us, Darien. And as soon as you're on mute right now, but we'll hear you in a second.
Good stuff. So
Now
let's address the first question, which is, what is a lookalike audience? All right. So let me use this example. Let's say that you have a list of contacts, and these are your general email list contacts in your email marketing software. You essentially can take that email list and you can upload it into Facebook's ad manager. And once you upload that list into Facebook's ads manager, Facebook will run an analysis of those emails, and they will match the Facebook profiles that matches that specific email. So essentially what they're doing is saying, okay, I have this email that says Darien@smartgrowthmarketing.com. I've found a matching profile that says Darien@smartgrowthmarketing.com, and this particular individual matches this email. So now I've matched that particular email. And they'll give you a list of the individuals that have matched, or the profiles that have matched the emails that have uploaded. So you upload that list, Facebook does an analysis and finds the Facebook profiles of the people that match that email. So that's the first step. Now, a lookalike audience is basically what Facebook allows you to do when you ask Facebook to find other people that mirror the attributes of that particular list. So what we're saying is, let's say you have 1,000 people that have been matched from the emails that you've uploaded. Facebook is then going to run an analysis and find other people that look exactly like the contact list you just uploaded based on their attributes, maybe their gender, maybe their demographics, maybe their psychographics. And what's great about that is because they match either your buyers list or your contact list, or maybe people who visit your website, then these are what we consider to be lukewarm audiences, right? Because when you reach out to a person who doesn't know who you are, we call that a cold audience. But when you have a lookalike audience, people who match the attributes of your existing contact database or your buyers list, they're more of a lukewarm audience because you're getting closer to the right type of person that you want to put your offer and your message in front of. So that's what a lookalike audience is. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfectly said. Perfectly said. Thanks so much for sharing. Let us know if that's the answer you were looking for. Hopefully you all learned about look-alike audience. Now, talk to us about the elephant in the room.
Elephant in the room, the big elephant, the red elephant or the blue elephant?
It's a pink elephant today, man. It's a pink elephant. All right.
Okay. So we go with the pink elephant. Let's do that. All right. So the pink elephant question in the room. All right.
Yeah.
So video or images?
Yeah.
Here's one thing you got to know about marketing. Marketing is all about testing. There's no exact answer that says it should be an image or it should be a video. Here's what I recommend you would do. So when you set up an ad, there are 3 different steps. You have the campaign. The campaign defines the specific objective of that ad. So let's say you want to send traffic to the website. You pick the traffic objective. If you want to have people watch a video, you select the video views objective. If you want to get conversions, you select the conversion objective. Then the next step is to define who you're trying to target. Who do you want your message to go in front of? That is called an ad set. So you would fill that out, the person's location, the demographic information, maybe some interest. And then last but not least is the ad. So when you set up the ad, what I recommend that you do for each ad set, which is a target group, okay? For each target group, you want to split test. Split test just means that you're running two different types of ads to the same audience. And the two type of ads would be run a video and also run an image. Okay, so let's say you have an audience that says, men between the age of 35 to 50 who like Tony Robbins, or women between the ages of, let's say 35 to 50 who like Marie Folio, okay, or Brandon Bouchard. Then you want to have an ad that has two different ads. You have two different ads. Number one ad has a creative mean the actual thing in the middle, which is the video and or image. So the creative will be a video, and also another ad that will be an image. So you're split testing. What Facebook is going to do when the ad gets approved, Facebook is going to then run the ad, and whatever the audience likes, whatever the audience is engaging with most, that's what they'll put your budget most towards. And so split testing in that fashion is the best way to be effective with your advertising. So that's the question.
So the answer is we need to split test it. So you really need to do a video and you need to do a Facebook ad.
You need to do a video. I always split test a video and an image because, again, we don't know specifically what's the best preference for audience to consume content. So it's always better to give them both options and allow Facebook to do its work and see what particular content is the audience responding to. So by giving them more options, by giving Facebook more options, giving them a video and also an image, then Facebook, based on the engagement of the audience, will decide which particular, whether it's a video or an image, to push most of the budget towards. And so you don't want to make any assumptions in your marketing. Never assume anything in marketing. Always be measuring, always be testing, always be, okay, is it an image or a video? Well, don't decide on one. Test both, and then let the numbers decide which one is going to be most effective. And then once you have a clear winner, then you can say, hey, let's take off the image or let's take off the video because one or the other is working better. So you allow Facebook to do its work first, then you can decide based upon the analytics and the numbers which particular image or which particular video is doing the best. That's how you address that particular situation.
And that's where the analytics come in, right? Is that the part that your team is not only monitoring but watching, but you're looking at best practices across different industries, across different markets. Am I hearing that correctly?
No, absolutely. And so we're always looking to see how the audience is responding to our ads. Which one of the ads is getting most of the engagement? Which one of the ads is getting most of the clicks? Is it the video? Is it the image? Which specific, if we're targeting, let's say 35 to 55, which segment of the audience is getting the most engagement? We can narrow it down by the age group and see which particular age category is getting the most engagement or clicks. If we're doing United States as, let's say, our target location, we can see what specific states are getting the most engagement, and then we can narrow that down so that we maximize our budget. Maximize meaning instead of spending it all across the United States when clearly we're getting most of our clicks from Florida or Georgia, we can set up another ad that only targets Florida and Georgia because that's where we get most of our clicks. So you can make some very intelligent decisions once you start running the ad and seeing where the numbers are telling the story. Let the numbers tell the story, and then you continue the story or the journey of the story based upon your campaigns. That's what you got to do. Yeah.
So if there was one piece of advice is, folks, Trinette is on. Thanks a lot. Karen Cherry. What's up, Karen Cherry down in Mississippi, by the way, who has a power up conference coming up, by the way, and she's doing some amazing things. She runs the largest women's conference in Mississippi, by the way. So all of this that you're watching, this is all very, very applicable. What's the first step that you would tell to someone that's very green at this? They're very green. They know they need to do it. Like at some point, they knew they needed to get a web page. At some point, they knew they had to get a database. And now they've been kicked and dragged and screaming, and they know they've got to do Facebook ads. And they're like, okay, I got to talk to someone. I know I need it. So I feel like, I'm just come sit and duck, like take my money. What would you suggest? I'm not trying to be funny. It's not if you're going to do it. It's just a matter when you decide to do it to really jumpstart and boost and use it as one of your strategies to market your message. It's just, you're going to do it. Okay. We're all going to do it. So my question to Darren very specifically, and this is one of those questions you might want to listen very, very closely to, because you can be a seasoned professional and this can help you as well. Darren, when someone's talking to yourself, because I know we're going to talk about how they can connect with you, or someone in your industry, what are three things that they should look for, or maybe three questions that they should ask so they can make sure they're talking to someone who kind of knows how this thing works? Because the person talking to them, they have no idea. They're just like, I need it. I got to do it. I've got $1,000 to spend. Let me see if I get my money back. And if that's the case, I suggest you go to Vegas, okay? You got a better chance of winning. You really do. But seriously, the question is, what advice can you offer them? What are three things they should do, questions they should ask, so when they're in the conversation, they at least know how to approach the conversation?
No, absolutely. Listen, results speak for everything. So I would say if you're speaking to someone, have them take you through the process. And let me specify that word, process. Have them take you through their process that they use to go from being able to connect with a stranger all the way down to a sale. Make sure they're able to demonstrate how they're able to do that effectively. Because a lot of people say, well, I can run your Facebook ads, but they're just only running a Facebook ad. They can't talk to you about being able to put together a real strategy of how you're going to be effective with connecting with someone who doesn't know you and then taking them through a process to a sale, or getting them to convert on your website, or getting them to convert to a live event, or getting them to convert on a webinar. Also, make sure that there's a conversation about your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, if it's a real not a conversation about numbers, then you shouldn't be running Facebook ads, because you're going to spend your money and then you're going to say, well, I didn't get anything. Well, the reason you didn't get anything because there wasn't any clear managed expectations about your numbers. So make sure that there's a real conversation about what are some of the conversion numbers we need to look at to get to my goal. If my goal is $45,000 in sales, can you take me through a process of knowing exactly what conversion numbers I need to have on my landing page? What KPIs or conversion numbers we need to have in our Facebook ads? What is the conversion that I need to be getting if I'm getting people on a phone call? What does that conversion number look like? So that there needs to be a conversation around that. And last but not least, there needs to be a huge emphasis on your audience. People don't buy because they understand what we do. People buy because they feel understood. And so it's so important that we spend the time really getting to know the ways and thinking processes of our audience so that we can be effective with our messaging. So if there's not an emphasis on messaging, if there's not an emphasis on first taking time to truly understand your audience on Facebook, because it's one thing to have your audience offline, right? But it's another thing to understand their behavior on social media, where they're hanging out on social media, what specific ways do we need to connect with them with our messaging so that we're bridging a relationship first. We are serving before we're selling, so that when they show up in our environments, they're ready with credit cards to purchase whatever you have to offer, right? So those are three things specifically I would say that needs to be addressed so that you can make the right decisions and the smart decision with Facebook.
Wow. Very, very powerful. You're talking to the one and only Darien Hill. When we come back, we're going to ask Darien Hill, how do we connect with him? For those folks that are tuning in and watching, this is your time. I'm going to say, look, how can we connect with him? And then I'm going to ask them, how did he really find himself really doing this? I know you're probably curious, and the folks he work with. We'll get to that in just a moment. We're now going to go over to the one and only. Where are we going to give? Okay, we're going over now for those folks that are running Facebook ads. For those folks that are ready for a change, we're going over to myself, the one and only, because we are the sales team you've been looking for. We'll be back after myself in less than 2 minutes. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. And if you're like a number of my clients right now, where you are sick and tired of talking to unqualified people who don't want to do business with you, or you're tired of tracking down people and trying to convince them and persuade them to do business with you, and you're just wasting your time, or you're just totally frustrated, and it's time for you to increase your sales, then we are the sales team that you've been looking for. You see, the number one challenge facing entrepreneurs today is either lost leads. That means they met someone opted on their page, someone signed up on their webinar, someone said they were interested, and no one could follow up with them, no one could track them down, and you had to do it all yourself. Or you spend a lot of time talking to someone, you spend a lot of time sending them information, only to find out they were unqualified. You're like, I'm sick of talking to unqualified people. So if you don't want to sell, or you hate to sell because you want to do something else with your time, something else with your labor, like spend it with those that you love the most, or doing something entirely different, then I want you to pay close attention. I want you to text this number, because we're going to partner with you in two ways. First, we're going to look at doing a complete sales makeover for you. Okay, that's number one. And then number two, we're going to set all the qualified appointments you need without your labor, so you can make sure things get done. And or we're going to have a dedicated sales team to go out and actually make the sale, get the credit card, get the contract, and bring it out. We are the sales team that you've been looking for. So it's just time for you to do a sales makeover. It's time for you to look at your whole sales process and have a structure, a system, a sequence, so you can be scalable and you can really generate those sales. Here's what I want you to do for your sales makeover. Text the word makeover. Do it right now. Open up your phone right now. Text the word makeover, one word, makeover, to 202-999-3515. Let me get that to you again. Text the word makeover so you can look at your business to 202-999-3515, and just follow the instructions. So all you gotta do is follow the instructions, and let's make over your business. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone, and we're gonna make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless, and I'll see you on the other side. Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, where we're on a mission to empower, to inspire, and provide you with the resources and the tools that are necessary to execute that big vision that you have for the people you were called to serve. And we're talking to Darien Hill, and Darien Hill is an expert as it relates to Facebook ads. He does all type of ads. Don't worry about that and other social media platforms. We're talking about Facebook ads, and he's done a really good job at diving deep into that. And I want to ask him a question that's very related in this segment called Today is My January 1st. And for those folks that are watching for the first time or listening, you'll enjoy this. For those folks that know what's about to happen, do me a favor. If you know that today is your January 1st, you get a restart. Today is your January 1st, you get a change. Today is your January 1st, you get a rebirth, a restart, a do-over. And this is your time. Do me a favor, look right below the video, and just put a hashtag, today is my January 1st. That's all you got to put. Hashtag today is my January 1st. And if you see that, someone hit the heart button, someone hit the like button. And Darren, today is my January 1st represents that moment. This is one of our core beliefs where you make a decision, and there's many decisions you make throughout a day. But when you make a decision, when you execute that decision, it changes the trajectory of your life. You either go to the gym or you sit on the couch. You either eat hamburgers and French fries, or you go to the refrigerator, you open it up, and inside there's some broccoli, and there's some kale, there's some celery. Oh, that sounds good to you. Then we're speaking the same language. So my question to you, Darren, first is, when you hear the words "today is my January 1st," what does it mean to you? What goes through your mind?
Wow, great question. Here goes. It's going to be something different. But what goes through my mind is this. is manage expectations. And let me tell you why I say that. When you think about New Year's resolutions, a lot of people set goals for the new year, but by a certain time, they've already given up on their goals. And you talked about going to the gym. So I go to the gym, and one of the things that's so key for your success in going to the gym is managing your expectations. Because let's say you haven't worked out in 2019, and now you're starting to work on in 2020. That first week, you're going to be sore. Now, for maybe the first month, you're going to be sore. It's going to hurt. And your mind is going to start to play tricks on you. It's going to start to tell you, why are you doing this? Why you put yourself through all of this trauma and this stress and this strain, right? Why go through this process? Well, you have to be able to, ahead of time, manage the expectations that this is what's going to happen. You're going to have to deal with a price. You're going to have to deal with a pain. You're going to have to deal with some measure of failure to get to the goal that you want. And if you don't manage the expectation up front, guess what? You're going to quit very, very early. And so it's the same thing that applies with Facebook ads as well. A lot of people don't manage expectations very well. And so they don't realize that some campaigns are going to do well and some campaigns are not going to do well. So it's all about manage expectations, all about what Winston Churchill says, that success is the ability to go from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. It's to manage the expectation that for your New Year's resolution, there things are going to come up along the way, and you have to expect them and discipline your disappointment so that you can keep moving forward. That's what that means. And that's where you're going to have success, not only in life, your resolutions, and also in Facebook ads as well.
I love it. Today is my January 1st. What was your January 1st moment? The moment is, did you decide as an entrepreneur that I'm going to make this work, that I'm going to be that guy? We're going to be that organization to help folks really crack the code in digital marketing. What was your January 1st moment?
Wow. It takes me back to a time in 2004 where I first got into business. I started this company with a partner. It was called eCard Solutions. And man, we hit the ground running. We grew the business very, very fast. We're in the credit card processing industry. Things were going so well that the local Chamber of Commerce awarded us the New Business of the Year award. And man, I was excited, and it was like fantastic. I was on top of the world. And then all of a sudden, things started changing up a little bit. I noticed that my business partner, he got a little bit distant, started getting a little quiet, and then I realized that he was doing some side deals. And we had a serious conversation one Friday, and I walked through from that conversation thinking everything was going to be great. Walked into the office on Monday to realize that everything was literally gone. The guy took everything out of the office. And that was a literal defining moment for me. And it was a shift. It was a huge shift in my life because up until that point, I defined my value of who I was based on everything outside of me, based upon the money, based upon the status that I received from growing the business and having success. And that started this downward spiral that ultimately, started the journey of my personal development. I had to start to read books and start to study courses. I listened to the movie, watched the movie The Secret. And the things that I learned from that particular process of going through that journey, going through that dark period of my life, from going through that disappointment, is what really sparked the individual that you see today. The individual who is passionate about helping entrepreneurs to go through the process, to go through these setbacks in their life, to want to have a goal of sharing their story with the world, making an impact, but at the same time, going through life's contrast, going through life's ups and downs. And I made a decision after going through that process and coming out of it, after going through that dark moment of losing my confidence and losing myself, and then rebuilding my my development, my inner self and sense of who I was, my value, to then starting to really get into marketing, to understanding psychology and studying books in psychology and marketing. I became so passionate about it. And I realized it was about people. And it birthed this passion in me to want to help other entrepreneurs and help people to move past the things that they're going through so that they could be of service to the people that they're called to serve. And that was kind of my defining moment. I mean, that's a short version of the story, but it was really the thing that sparked the process for me to do what I'm doing today, and the way in which I do things, which is to really help my clients to be able to connect and build a relationship with their audience when they are distracted, when they are dealing with things from a psychological standpoint, when they are dealing with life, because life is going to happen. And so that's what birthed the process of me doing what I'm doing today, and why I'm so passionate about helping entrepreneurs to unleash their inner greatness.
Man, I love it. When you look back now, and I'm just curious, what are 3 steps that you took to get on this journey? 3 things you did just to get started.
Yeah, well, first of all is self-awareness. For me, is to understand what I call my inner jerk. That there's an ego that's there, that's stopping me, to want to stop me from moving forward. Right? There's a part of me that's the what if, and I had to become aware of that inner conversation, that inner jerk I call it, that's always trying to limit my success, always trying to keep me small, to stay small, to not expand, to not grow. I had to first of all become aware of that, and secondly, to have the tools necessary to be able to move myself forward. So, for instance, reading books, reading success stories, reading biographies of the people who went through trials and tribulations in their life and found a way to push through, and then making sure that I surrounded myself with people. Other people who are big thinkers, big dreamers, so they can support me and hold me accountable through the process. So those are 3 things that I did. Number 1, awareness, and invested in myself heavily into books, into conferences, studying marketing, studying psychology, studying quantum physics, really digging deep to really make sure I understood and peel away the layers of myself. And of course, then, surrounding myself with the right people. So when I have that moment of doubt, that they can give me that nudge, they can encourage me to keep moving forward. They can say, listen, you can do it, right? Champion me forward. Those are things that were really effective in helping me to move forward in my life and my business.
When you think about what you had to go through, you think about today is my January 1st. You think about January the 17th, which is National Ditch Your Resolutions Day. Many of you can go Google National Ditch Your Resolution Day. It is January the 17th. And to some folks, no matter when you're watching this live or you're watching a replay of this, when you ask them right now, what was your New Year's resolution? Many folks, they're going to look at you like, New Year's resolution? That was so long ago. And so some folks watching right now, that was just a few weeks ago. So my question to you is, what does Darien Hill do in order to remain consistent? In order to have the discipline to do the things you know you should do? Because many folks have raised their hand right now saying, today is my January 1st. I'm going to get my Facebook ads right. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to get back on that diet. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to build my team. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to track my spending and spend less than I make. And then tomorrow they'll be back off track, because life is a series of being on track and on track. So what's the question, Shay? The question is, what does Darien Hill tell himself? Or how does Darien Hill stay on track so you can be consistent?
Absolutely. I'm going to say something that it's going to be different. Detach. Mm-hmm. Detach. And so you may be asking, what does that mean, detach, Darien? So oftentimes what stops us from being consistent is that we're too caught up in the result. We're too caught up in having a expectation of a thing to happen in a certain time, and that it must look a certain way. And if it doesn't happen, then it's like you feel as though that you have failed in some regard. But when you detach from the outcome, you can be in a space of, let me just continue to show up. Let me just continue to be of service. Let me continue to be present. And the more you detach, you release a lot of that resistance of life, and you don't have that anxiety in life. You can just be in a state of flow, and you can be present. You can be there and available to serve the people that you serve. And so for me, detachment allows me to continue to show up. It allows me to get rid of a lot of the conversations that would say, well, it has to look this certain way, it has to show up this particular certain way. And that stops me from the resistance that's there. That stops me from the anxiety that's there. And so it allows me to consistently be present, to show up, to be in camera, to be on video, to say yes to the calls, to be available. And that's what works for me.
Oh, man, that is super powerful. When we come back in just less than 2 minutes, we're going to ask the one and only Darren. He's going to go into a segment called Rapid Fire. That means I ask him any questions on my mind. He has a minute or less to answer it. The audience likes less, by the way. If I ask, do you want him to take a minute or less? They're going to say less. And then we're going to ask them how you can best connect with him. I'm going to ask them to do something very, very special for every single one of you that doesn't take a credit card, doesn't take a cash app. There's no Zelle payment needed. He didn't ask for one before this segment. And so I'm going to ask him how to do that for every single one of you. We're going to go over to the one and only Delano A. Johnson. And Delano A. Johnson, they tell me to go to Rob House. Okay, we're going to Rob House. Rob House is over in Laurel, Maryland. And he talks about be present where you are. Be present where you are. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. Take it away, Rob.
Hey guys.
All right.
Me and Daddy are here.
All right. I'm doing a video.
I got a question.
No, it's not a question. This is a video where I'm telling people something. I'm telling them that today is their January 1st. Today is your January 1st Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, because today is the only day you got. Because tomorrow's not promised and yesterday is gone. So the reason why today being your January 1st is significant because it keeps you from procrastination. Procrastination is the destroyer of dreams. Yeah, it's the destroyer. It's the killer of dreams. So take action. Be present where you're present. That's the real gift. Be present where you are present. That is the real gift. Today is your January 1st. Say today.
Today.
Say today is your January 1st.
Today is January 1st.
Say it loud.
Today is January 1st.
That's it. Don't forget it.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country. We're on a mission to inspire, to empower, and to provide you with the resources necessary to execute the vision that you need for the people you were called to serve. And I'm now talking to Darien Hill. We'll talk about amplify your authority, stop struggling to attract paying clients, and start selling like crazy using this smart Facebook ads method. We're now in the rapid fire segment. My first question to Darien, who has a minute or less to answer. We like the less more than the minute. But the first question I have is, what lesson, I'll say, have you learned from one of your mentors that you can share with us that can help us on this journey? And then you need to unmute yourself, and we'll be right there.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I would say one of the biggest lessons I've learned is to fail fast, because it's through the lessons that we learn, and failure just means feedback. It's through the lessons that we learn that's going to allow us to grow, that allows us to be able to be in a position to be able to take on the new opportunities that come along through the process. So fail fast, fail often.
Yeah. You read so many books along the way, I'm sure, and books that friends you know, books you might not have known. If you had to pick one book and the lesson from the book, you can't pick the good book, okay? That's in a category all by itself. What's one of the books that's in your Audible? Could be an Audible book that just pops top of mind to you right now. You're like, you know what, Shay? This book's popped top of mind to me, and this is the lesson that I want to share with the audience.
Yeah, the one book, it would be The Ultimate Secrets of Self-Confidence by Dr. Robert Anthony. That's Ultimate Secret of Self-Confidence by Dr. Robert Anthony. And it's the chapter 10 of that book where I learned about meditation. And being silent has been one of the tools that I've used to really get myself to be present and to create a great expectation for my day. So that's a great tool.
Sure. I love where you're sharing that, my man. Where are you right now in your business journey? If you had to step back and say, man, this is where I'm at in my business journey, what pops to mind to you?
Transition. Yeah. And when I say transition, if you probably, in terms of what I've been saying, I've been looking for ways to add more of that mindset and that coaching aspect to my business. So more than just the done for you, I'm actually transitioning into creating some more coaching programs to help to expand and touch more lives with my services.
Sure. Tell us about a success or a challenge you're currently facing right now.
Wow. I would say that success would be more specifically Facebook ads. I'm noticing that as we transition more into being more effective with our messaging, that we are relating more, we're connecting more, we are building great relationships, we're getting better engagement with our audience and getting better results for our clients. So the messaging has been so key for us in our success.
Sure. And if you had to take a moment and maybe tell us about maybe a story, you can have 2 minutes. Maybe tell us a story where you had to overcome a fear. There was a fear that you had, and if you want to be vulnerable, you don't have to be, but you had to overcome this fear. Do you mind sharing that with us?
Oh yeah. So I'll take you back to the story I started with, because that's one of the biggest ones. After losing that business, like I said, I didn't realize how much my value and my identity was tied up into the business. And so there was a lot of fear around what people would say. It was a lot of fear, feelings of failure at the time. And so again, because I was fortunate enough to have books and resources, I invested a lot in that. And those things helped me to really start to turn things around, to make the shift, to rebuild my confidence, and then step back out there and start my business again, which is in marketing. So I would say that was one of the biggest things for me in investing in myself so that I can make that necessary shift.
Sure.
Yeah.
What is something about you that no one would ever guess? What's something that you do for fun, or something about you? They would even guess it. They wouldn't even know.
Oh man, I'm a big fan of doing those like CrossFit and doing a lot of the Tough Mudder runs and.
Why? What do you enjoy about that, man?
You know, funny enough, I was a track and field athlete. I came to the United States on a track and field scholarship, so I'm a sprinter. And, I've always loved the, obstacles and the speed and powering through things. And so for me, it's just been fun to find that avenue of expression. And so, yeah. So I love things like the Savage Race. I love the muds, the obstacles, jumping over stuff. It's fun. I love it.
When you said mudder, I already knew. When you said some of the races, I already knew. If someone has run 5 marathons, I was like, no, this guy, he's all in. This is the first time he started smiling the whole episode. I was like, wait a minute. You talking about getting in the mud? You talking about running? Holla at your boy.
Yeah, let's do it.
Look at that big smile on his face. Like, I'm ready right now. I'll lace him up, Shay. I'll lace him up. You folks are really blessed. You're very fortunate. We're talking to the one and only Darien Hill. He's in overtime right now. No, he's probably in triple overtime, right? He should have been gone a long time ago, but he was having a good time, and he spent so much time with us. For those folks out there that are watching right now, and they're thinking, okay, Shay, I want to connect. I want to stay in this conversation over and beyond today. Where can they go in order to connect with you, my friend?
No, fantastic. I do have a private Facebook group, and it's called the Profitable Ads Academy.
Okay,
so
hold on. You said it's a private Facebook group, but it's called. Everyone, let's go over the Facebook.
Okay.
Sometimes people give us these websites. They don't work, my man. Nothing personal.
Nope.
Things do happen. We're gonna go, but he said it's private. So I got to ask him. Does that mean we got to pay? Do we need a credit card? Do we need a checkbook?
No, just bring yourself to the
Okay, good. There's no credit card needed. There's no checkbook. There's no Cash App. There's no Zelly. So you can all do this. Let's all go over there right now. Let's all go. So let's open up Facebook. Can y'all open it up for me? Let's open up Facebook. All right. They're going to open it up. Da-da-da-da. He's checking himself because he's nervous. He's nervous over there. All right. So here we are in Facebook. And I have it up over here. I typed in Profitable Ads Academy. Is that right?
That's right.
Create more impact, influence, and income with high converting social ads. Okay. I'm now in the group. Tell us the purpose of this group.
Right. So it's a community focused on helping entrepreneurs to learn effective ways to use social ads to grow and scale their business. So, from time to time, I'll come in and do tips on different things that you can use to grow yourself with Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, there's going to be a combination of personal growth information and also business growth information as well. So it's an amazing community, a lot of engagement, and I bring a lot of life principles to the table. So
when someone goes in, they answer the questions. How long does it take to find out if they're approved or not? Is that a 24-hour process? It's going to take 7 days?
No, within 24 hours, you'll be approved and in the group.
Okay, so he said for those folks that are watching right now, you go over to Profitable Ads Academy. So you open up Facebook. So if you listen to the podcast now, tell them what they need to do. If they listen to the podcast or listening to the replay of this, you can still do this. So if you got a hold of this long lost audio file or video file and you're listening to it, mention the Happy Entrepreneur Show, and he'll be sure to accept you into the group. So tell them what they need to do one more time, Darren.
No worries. So just head over to Facebook, and in the browser, of Facebook's browser, you type in Profitable Ads Academy. That's Profitable Ads, ADS Academy. And you'll see the group, and be sure to click on join, answer the 3 questions. And within 24 hours, you'll be in the world of knowing how to scale and grow your business using smart Facebook advertising.
Man, I love what you're doing, man. When we come back, I'm going to ask the one and only Darien Hill to share his final comments, his thoughts to all of us as entrepreneurs and things that we can do to really get the resources we need. I don't know what his final comments are. I love it, his final thoughts. First, we're going to go over to New York, New York. So nice, they named it twice. And we're going to connect with Delano A. Johnson. And Delano A. Johnson says, I refuse to live talented and broke. Yeah, think about that. And you don't have to be talented. You don't have to be broke, especially when you can run Facebook ads, reach your target audience. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. Take it away, Delano.
I live in a city where there are more creative people per square mile than any other place on the planet. Question is, how many of them are successful? How many are just like I was, talented and broke? Being broke is more than just not having money. It's failure to turn opportunities into profitable businesses and relationships that last. My mother always said, people perish for lack of knowledge. A compass takes you in the direction of your destiny, but knowledge of obstacles and distractions will ensure you arrive safely. My mentor once said to me, if I had half your talent, I'd have 4 times my wealth. Since then, I made a promise to God. If he would help me unlock my earning potential, I would pay it forward and help others do the same. That's why I wrote this book, because God made us too talented to live our lives broke. That includes you.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country, where we're on a mission. That mission is to empower. That mission is to inspire. And that mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources necessary to execute the vision that you have for the people you were called to serve. And I'm super excited that we've had this conversation with the one and only Darien Hill. And I want to take a moment to thank him, let him know we appreciate him. He has a heart to give. He has a heart to serve. He showed up and he gave you the best that he had. He was open to answering any question. There wasn't a lot of questions that I absolutely unequivocally had to ask some folks. They want me to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has their own style. But he said, no, Shay, let's have a conversation. Let's hear what's on the people's mind. Let's hear what's on everyday entrepreneurs' mind. That's who I work with, Shay. I work with people who are still in the field every day. They got their sleeves rolled up, Shay. They're in the trenches, and I'm there to work with them and be a support. They navigate them through this whole ads world, specifically tonight about Facebook. So let me first say thank you. Let me let you know we appreciate you. We got to have you back, man. If we had more time, we could be here for weeks and weeks and weeks. But what you've given us can get us started, can get us on the go. I'm going to encourage everyone out there that's watching right now, everyone that's listening to the sound of my voice, to connect with the one and only Darien Hill. Go to Facebook, open up a browser. There's a little box right now. Now, I don't know what may change in the future years, but right now there's a box, and you can type in Profitable Ads, ADS Academy. And once you do that, it'll take you to a private group. It is private, so you have to click the button join. But once you do that, fill out the questionnaire, and he'll accept you. Now, if you have any questions, put Happy Entrepreneur Show. He'll accept you. There's no credit card need. There's none of that needed. And you can be part of this group of folks who are out there to make sure that they can reach their target audience using different social media sources. So with that being said, Darren, again, thank you. I'm going to turn it over to you, man, to have your closing thoughts, your final remarks as we get ready to go out here and go out there and change the world, make some things happen. I want to thank LaVonda Hawkins and Ann Brown, who's joined in, and David Thomas and Dwight Pleasure, who does so much stuff over there with the Les Brown Platinum Group. Danny, Regina, and so many of you out there who've made your comments. Every one of you hit the share button. We thank you. You can hit the share button again right now. You can hit the watch party button right now and put finally learn Facebook ads for real. You can just put learn Facebook ads for real. Hit the watch party button. And someone in your organization, why do you do that? I know you're asking why. Because you're paying the message forward, because we believe in the giver's economy. The giver's economy says the person that outgives the competition out-earns the competition. So you're going to pay this forward to someone else. You're going to bless another entrepreneur and help them along this journey because you believe in the law of abundance. There's enough for all of us. We don't have to keep this to ourselves. With that being said, I turn over to you, man. The close is out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Can't wait to have you back. Can't wait to you and I do some amazing things together.
No, absolutely. And I just wanted to take this time to honor the audience for saying yes to themselves, for being here, showing up, and helping us with your energy. I really appreciate and honor you for that, and looking forward to connecting with you further as you continue to grow and scale your business and serve the world in whatever capacity that you are here to serve. Secondly, Shay, I want to honor you and thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be here to share some value with the audience. The Happy Entrepreneur Show is an amazing resource, and I just want to honor you for saying yes to creating this platform that serves entrepreneurs, to provide them with the right tools, the resources, the knowledge, the skills that they need to develop to be able to succeed.
Thank you.
And so, you know, my closing thoughts are simply this. The reality is, you know, your business can only grow to the degree that you grow. So continue to invest in yourself, invest in your knowledge, invest in Facebook ads so that you can grow and scale your business. But when you invest, do it the smart way. Make sure you're strategically having the right type of message at the right time to connect with the audience, to build that connection, to serve to sell, so that you can generate high quality leads that ultimately turn into clients, turn into customers, so that you can have the lifestyle that you truly deserve. And, you know, one of my favorite quotes comes from Simon Sinek. It says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And so continue to share your why, continue to bless others with the service that you're here to bring. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you all of you who've been watching. Thank you all who tuned in. We appreciate you. I want you to know that today is your January 1st and the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Why is that? Because you have so much greatness inside you. And you know that you had the potential to perform at a higher level. And not only do you know that, but the fact that you showed up, the fact that you're listening, the fact that you're watching says so much about you. It says that this is your time. This is your moment. Today is your January 1st. You can go out there and you can make it happen. With that being said, for those folks that are tuning in for the first time and want to know who is that guy talking, you're just tuning in. My name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless. And we wish you success. Darren, you're amazing, man. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for rocking out. Thanks for all you're doing. We'll see you guys later. Peace. We're out of here. promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless.